Hi guys, it's Crystal. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make these rosettes. So we've made the party hats and we've made the pinwheels, and now we're going to make the matching rosettes. So if you've watched my videos before, and I'll have these linked down below, you've seen the party hats, the pinwheel, and now we're making the rosettes to match these. And then we've also made the toppers here, and we've made some pom-poms made out of the tissue. So we have like a whole thing going on here. So today we're going to be making these to go match with our decor. So what you're going to need, so you can, if you have the rosette punch here, we're going to use that. If you don't, it's fine. You don't even have to have it. You can just have them as plain edges. And all you need is, if you have a scoreboard, that's great. If you don't, you can just make your lines so that way you can just fold them. So it's no big deal. All right, so what you're gonna do, so to make this one right here, this size, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our paper. Let me get my paper trimmer. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna slide our paper in here. Hopefully you guys can catch all this. I've moved my camera up so we can get all of this in frame. So hopefully it all works out. All right, so 4 inches. We're gonna do this twice. We need 2 of these. This is by 12 by 12. So you need 2 of these, and this is gonna be 4 inches. We're gonna cut 1, and then we need 1 more. So I'm gonna bring this back down. I'm going to cut another 4 inches just like that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move these things out of my way. This is from the same paper pack that I showed in my last video. This is from the Mickey Mouse and Friends, and like I said, it was at Hobby Lobby $9.99, half off this week right now, and it's $5. But Hobby Lobby does that like every other week, so don't be afraid that you're not going to find this because on sale, because they do that sale like every other week. All right, so the next step that we're going to do, we have our 2 4-inch pieces. So this is 4 by 12. What we're going to do is we're going to take our score tool. This is, I've had this for years. I think I've had it since around 2012, 2011, something like that. This is the Martha Stewart one, but I think We Are Memory Keepers has one out. I think EK Success, but like I said, if you don't have this, you don't have to worry about it. Now, you can score these at 1 inch, or you can score them at 1/2 inch. And I'm doing mine at 1 inch. So I'm going all the way down. I'm going to score these at 1 inch. All the way down. All right. So then we're going to do the same thing with the next one. Scoring them all at 1 inch. And I won't be able to zoom in on this since I've brought it up above me. I can't reach my camera, so hopefully you guys can see what I've got going on here. All right, so we're gonna score that at 1 inch. All right, so the next step you're gonna do is, if you have the punch, at this point, we're going to go ahead and punch our ends. Now, if you don't have it, you would just start folding it, and that would be it. And then when you'd move on to the next step we're gonna do in a minute. So you just start folding these back and forth. Now, if you do have the punch to make the pretty little ends, if you did the 1 inch mark, you're gonna put it in at where the line is. So, and I know that you guys, I'm not gonna be able to zoom this in, but where the 1 inch mark, where your lines are, you're gonna line it up. There is like a little arrow right here, and you're gonna just line that up right in there, and you're gonna punch, okay? Then you're gonna skip 1, move to the next one, and do the same thing all the way down. So you're just skipping 1 all the way down. Now, if you were doing the 1/2 inch, you would have different directions for that. All right, so get this in here. And then we got one last one. All right, so just like that, that's what it's gonna look like. So then your next step, let's go ahead and do our other one. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing, lining it up, punch. We're gonna skip 1, we're gonna punch, skip 1, punch, punch. All right, so just like that, you got 2 of them just like this. Now, like I said, if you don't have the punch, don't worry about it. You would skip that step, and you would start folding them just like this. So we're gonna fold them back and forth on those score lines. Just like that. Now, and I believe Cricut and Silhouette also have a template for these as well, so you could cut these out with your Cricut and have your Silhouette do these score lines for you as well. So that's another option. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing on this one. I'm gonna go back and forth, back and forth. All right. Now this is the We Are Memory Keepers Rosette Punch, and it's part of the party set. All right, so now we have 2 of them just like this. Now this is for the 4-inch. So your next step that you're gonna do is you're going to want to connect these like this, all right? So what you can either do is you can connect them just like that, or you can trim, like say this side off and tuck this one underneath, and that's what I like to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this side off. All right, just like that. Then we're gonna take you're gonna take whatever adhesive that you're using, and I like to use my big gun here. So I'm gonna go ahead and go down. You can use your red tape, your, little tape runners, your tape rolls, whatever you have. If you wanna use glue, you can do that as well. All right, then what you're gonna do is you're gonna layer that right on top of this one, just like that. And then I like to take my score tool. You'd wanna get a little more even than what I did, all right? So then now that's connected. So then what you're gonna do is you're gonna come on this side and you want to do the same thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and, because I want this to go underneath it like that, so I'm gonna go ahead and trim this side off as well. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and get my tape runner again, not my glue gun, my tape runner. We're gonna run that down just like that, all right? Then you're gonna take this side and you're gonna overlap these 2. This is a really easy DIY that you really don't have to have any of this special stuff. You can literally do this with just paper and your adhesive. All right, so then the next thing that you're gonna do, so for this, you're just gonna get it like this and get it to lay down. Sometimes it's a little bit silly, you just gotta kind of play with it. All right, just like that. So you just have to kind of fiddle with it for a little bit until you gotta get it to roll down. Now, you could also go in from just like that. All right, so what I'm gonna do next is I like to set something on it, so I'll kind of set my tape runner on it for now. All right, something just to kind of hold it for me. Now, you don't have to fold that yet. You could always wait. But then what I like to do is I'm going to figure out what paper that I'm using on top of that. And let's go ahead and use a red. So then you want to take some plain cardstock here. Let me move this guy out of the way. All right, so we're going to take some plain cardstock. You can either have your Cricut cut this out, or if you have a circle punch, but I don't have a circle punch. And I don't really want to fiddle with my Cricut or my Silhouette to just cut out some circles. So I take like an old shot glass, put it face down, and then get my circles. Now, if I wanted a smaller circle, I could do this side. So let's say I do a smaller one. So I'd use this side of the shot glass just like that. Then I can take my little scissors and just go right around that. Now, if you have any pencil marks left, you can always just take your eraser and just kind of erase those. So you just want to kind of get that as round as you possibly can. All right, so I'm going to use my big one for the back size, because for this side I really didn't need one that big. I would go with the bottom of the shot glass for this size. Now, like I said, this is the 4" by 12, and it took 2 pieces. All right, so just like that. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna work with the top part first. So if I can carefully get it to stay like this while I work, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my hot glue gun. So I'm gonna get a little bit of glue on my circle here. I like to use the hot glue for this. And then I'm gonna set it down on top of it just like that. And then kind of just hold it for just a second. Kind of give it some time to dry. All right, we're gonna flip it over. We're gonna do the same thing for the back. So I'm gonna get some glue on here. And you don't have to use hot glue, I just like it because it works a lot quicker. All right, so just like that. Now look at that side. That side's really cute as well. So you could always do this side or you can do this side. So there is our 4". And you can kind of come back and mess with these a little bit to kind of get them to sit where they're supposed to be. All right, so just like that. I think that's super adorable. All right, so let's do a little bit of a bigger size. Now, if you want to do one that's this size, and you can change it up. You can do 2 inches, you know, just keep changing it. Like this size right here, this is a 6-inch, 6 by 12, and it took two pieces of cardstock out of the pack, which would be, it's going to take 2 pieces of your cardstock paper, and what you're going to do is cut them in half. So they're going to be 6 inches by 12 inches, so you'd need 4 pieces total, which is just 2 sheets of paper. All right, so what we're going to do, let's get our paper trimmer over here. So we're going to cut these at 6 inches. Let's get this little guy out here. All right, so we're just going to trim this at 6 inches. All right, so there's our first 2 pieces. And here's our next one. All right, so you got 4 pieces total. This paper right here is from this collection. This is the Pink Lemonade from Paper Studios, and like I said, Hobby Lobby 50% off makes it $10, and you have all these super cute designs. So this paper is gonna go with these party hats here, and this pinwheel. So this is just part of this design here. So I'm just kind of showing you all that. You could do so many different designs out there. Whatever paper pack there is, options are just limited. All right, not limited, but you know what I mean. Okay, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do these at 1 inch. All right, so I'm gonna go all the way down. And like I said, once again, you don't have to have that Rosette punch unless you want it to look real fancy. You can just fold these down, and you just have your ends plain. All right, and let's see. So we're gonna do the 1 inch. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do these last 2 pieces, and we'll be right back. Now that we have all our pieces scored, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do the punch again. Well, actually, just so you guys can see, I'm gonna do it without the punch, okay? So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna fold these back and forth. And like I said, think about it. If you could buy your paper pad for $10, and like the Mickey Mouse one was $5, you could do your whole thing. You could do all your party hats, all of your pinwheels, because they all don't have to be identical, because you know there's only so many designs of each, you know, so many sheets of each design. You could do all your cupcake wrappers, all those things out of one paper pack. So, I mean, think about how much decorations cost, and look how adorable these are going to be. All right, so then once you get them folded, you're just going to crease them, and like I said, this is without using the punch. So I'm going to keep going back and forth. And like I said, even if you don't have a scoreboard, you can just kind of figure out your score lines, or if you do own like a Silhouette or a Cricut, you could always, I think they have designs too, and it would already cut out the cute little designs on your ends. Just type in Rosette in the search bar there and see what comes up. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do these last 2, and we'll be right back. Okay, so now that we have our 4 pieces, so what I'm gonna do, since this is the design, I'm just making sure everything is lined up in the same direction here. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing where, so what I'm gonna do this time is I'm gonna go ahead and add adhesive on, instead of cutting them, add adhesive here and here. So I'm gonna take my tape runner again here. That's gonna sit down in there. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and run it on this side. So I'm gonna show you without cutting these sides off what you would do. So you'd run it down both pieces here, your end cap on that side, and then you're going to just very carefully get these lined up together, and then just push them down. All right, just like that. Then we're gonna do the same thing to this side. Now you don't really want to do them like this, because then you're gonna see your open side. So what I'm gonna do is the same thing. I'm gonna go ahead and run my adhesive down both sides. I've had that tape runner and I use my 40% off for years. Like I said, same thing. I've had it for a long time. It's lasted forever. I think the refills on them are like $5 or something. It's not too bad. All right, making sure that's going underneath. Just creasing that guy. You can always use your bone folder for that. All right, so now our last piece, making sure all my stuff's in the right direction. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm going to roll this down the sides here. All right. So we're gonna just line these up here. Just like that. I'll probably have to undo this or not. Let me see if I can, because I kind of got off a hair. All right, almost. All right. Let me make sure I've kind of got these lined up a little better. Okay, I guess I must have. All right, so just like that, get that one underneath, fold them in half. Show you using my bone folder there just to kind of make sure those where they need to be. All right, so here we go. So now we have this huge long thing. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to attach these two sides here. I'm going to do the same thing for this side. So I'm gonna go ahead and add, let me see how I'm gonna do that. It's gonna go there, okay. So I'm gonna add adhesive to this side. I'm gonna add adhesive just like that. So now I've got adhesive on this, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring it around. I'm gonna do the same thing where I'm overlapping, because this time I'm doing it different where I'm not cutting off those ends, but you can do it however you feel comfortable doing it. So just kind of play with it a little bit here, getting it into place, just like that. All right, and then I'm gonna take my bone folder, kind of hold it in my hand a little bit, and get that down. All right. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the same thing, just kind of carefully getting these guys together and working it down. All right, so just like that. And this one, let's try to go from the center. All right, there we go. Okay. So that's what it looks like so far. And like I said, I like to get something a little heavier and hold my center while I get my pieces cut out. So now I'm just gonna kind of figure out what color cardstock, and I'm thinking about trying to find a teal really quick. So I'm gonna use this little piece of cardstock right here. I like buying by the Paper Studio those scrap packages that have all these smaller pieces cut. Love having those on hand for this. All right, so what I'm gonna do the same thing. Hopefully this is in screen here. We're gonna take, and I'm gonna do the big ones this time since it's so big. And I'm gonna have the shot glass upside down. And like I said, if you have a punch, that would actually be a lot better. Or if you're gonna be doing a ton of these, just have your machine pre-cut them. Or, you know, if you don't have any of that, do like I'm doing and hand cut these little guys, because it's actually no big deal. All right, so we're gonna go around. And like I said, so as you can see with this one right here, we didn't use the punch. So that's just making it with paper. And that was 2 pieces of cardstock to make it this big. So, and then you're just gonna cut them in half. And like I said, so all you needed was adhesive. And if you don't have a scoreboard, just, you know, just measure them out every so often with your ruler and mark them with a pencil and just fold them right there. And you can always take your ruler and get it at that spot and kind of bend it and fold it, if that makes sense, if you don't have a scoreboard. All right, so I'm just gonna get this circle cut out just like that. All right, so the same thing, I'm gonna flip it in the opposite direction since for the writing. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get my glue on here once again. I'm gonna carefully move this guy and go ahead and get that set down in the center just like that. I've seen some people take like glue and just put it right down in the center, but if you get your circles on it right away like this, you really don't have to mess with that. It's just preference, whatever you want to do. So let's carefully flip this over. And this is the back side because this is not double-sided. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. Get my glue on here. All right. And I'm gonna get that. Now on the back side, you don't have to really worry about getting that circle too perfect, and you could even just do a little square if you wanted to, if nobody's gonna see it. And there you go, so that's your big one. I love the way those look too without the little pieces right here like that. So these are all our little sizes, so like these two would go together. And then you can do, if you're gonna do some colored cardstock like this with designs, I would do some plain colors. So I would have some white or some light pink, some green, some oranges, and then kind of bring in a couple of these, the ones with the designs on them. Same thing with the Mickey Mouse. I would do these, and then I would bring in some reds, some blues, some grays, black, and then tie those together. And you can also do it this way, whichever way that you prefer. But there you go. So that's how you do that. And then that goes with your little party hats, just like that, and your little pinwheels. So far that's what we've got going on. And then if you want to switch to you don't have to limit it to these designs. I'm just kind of showing you with what I have on hand. So you would have these pieces with these party hats, and that's all from one paper pad, and you would just make a bunch of these. I mean, I've already made these, and you still have all of this to work with. So I mean, this one right here, for example, comes with 60 sheets. So I mean, you just have a ton. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please hit the like button down below and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.